Yo, right lads, this is the Geordie Jedi here, and Debuchy has finally went to Arsenal. Fair enough. I've heard in a rumour, effectively, that about 12 million is the fee that he went for. We brought in Janmaat for 5 million, so his replacement is cheaper and kind of just as good. He's not Premier League proven like Debuchy is not right now. But, you know, Janmaat does have some pretty good stats, but it is in a weaker league. So, he does seem a very good player, and he's still young, so he can get used to the Premier League. And he has time to do it. He's obviously Janmaat's 24, I think, and Debuchy's now 28. So, money-wise, it was also the best time to get rid of Debuchy, because right now we're going to get the most money for him, and then his transfer fee is going to slowly drop. So, good bit of business money-wise from Newcastle. But of course it means that with Debuchy being 28, he's meant to be in his prime. 28 is about the player's prime year, when they're not too old to be slowing down, but they're also experienced enough to be an incredibly good player. So we've sold him missing out on his apparent prime. Whether that means we missed out on his actual prime is a different matter. You know, we could go to Arsenal and play completely shite. He could play absolutely amazingly, but we're not 100% certain until he plays. So, for me, you know, he was going to go eventually. As soon as Cabaye left, it was all going to go downhill. Mrs. Cabaye was obviously going to leave. And thank the true Geordie for that one. I'm only saying it the once. So, a bit dodgy in a sense as well, because Janmaat is a decent player, but he's not as good as Debuchy. Certainly not on Premier League form, in a sense. Janmaat has, I've read his stats, Janmaat has better stats, but playing in a weaker league. You know, so we're not, it is a bit funny, it is a bit dodgy. But we'll have to see how Janmaat plays. He's in New Zealand now, I think. Yeah, I think he's one of the ones who went to New Zealand. Or he might still be on World Cup holiday, I'm not 100% sure. So basically we'll see how Janmaat plays and decide if he's good or not then. So, good bit of business. Very happy with Newcastle's transfer business. Now on to something a tad more serious and both sadder and happier. Now, of course, there was the flight when Liam and John died, unfortunately. Among of course others, you know, there were 10 Britons, two of which were Newcastle fans. There were others, and of course there weren't just Britons. There were many people shot down over Ukraine. A horrible tragedy. Obviously, it's just a horrible thing to happen, and to happen at all. But in my experience, and I've been, you know, looking through Twitter. Now this is something that has not so much surprised us, but it's been incredibly happy to see. I've only seen one comment about someone from Sunderland saying, you know, something absolutely horrible. I'll be blunt, what you said was 2 Newcastle fans died, shame it wasn't 100. You know, absolutely disgusting thing to say. I'm sick. This was the first thing I read. I didn't read anything else until I read that, and obviously I was outraged. I was livid. I was fucking livid that some idiot would say that. Now obviously Sunderland fans, you know, don't like Newcastle fans as we don't like them as Sunderland fans, not as people. I probably dislike him because, well, quite frankly, how could he be that idiotic and just cruel? But after that, what I found out was that Sunderland fans, what they'd been doing is they started effectively a charity. They'd aimed for 100 quid. As of when I recorded this video, so about 5 grand, run by Sunderland fans. There was, that's amazing. It is. It's absolutely just beautiful to see that kind of thing. Especially for me, you know, my first experience of this tragedy was some idiot saying there should have been 100, but then I find out that pretty much everybody apart from him who are Sunderland fans are all, you know, are all mourning, are running a charity to help, putting out tributes. I've seen the tributes at St James's Park. There are Sunderland fan tributes there. So this is absolutely amazing. I've heard someone on Twitter who said that at the time where derby this should be mentioned, and it definitely should be, to the point when at some point either before, after or even during the match, every Newcastle fan should turn around to the away end and clap. Now, you know, I'm a Newcastle fan, so I'm not a big fan of Sunderland, obviously, but I agree with that. The Sunderland fans deserve it. They've been amazing. I mean, seriously, there were people who were expecting that kind of crap that guy said, not to that extent, but there were people who were expecting a similar kind of thing, and no, the Sunderland fans have not done it. I didn't expect it. I thought it was a bit, you know, there are Sunderland fans, but there are also people, but there were people expecting horrible things that they were going to say, and they didn't. They did amazing things, and it's not just that charity. All over Twitter, Sunderland fans saying, you know, R.I.P., rest in peace, all that kind of stuff, which is absolutely amazing to hear, and amazing to see, and amazing to read. So for all you Sunderland fans out there, whoever watches my videos, well done. Seriously, that's above and beyond the line of duty, shall we say, because that's an absolutely amazing thing to do. So thank you. I'm certain their families will thank you so much as well for doing something, not casting the North East in a bad light by doing the right thing. It's not just Sunderland fans as well. Newcastle fans are obviously doing it. Middlesbrough fans are obviously mourning. You know, they're obviously RIP and such, etc. So this is a time that the North East in general is really being cast in an incredibly good light, and it's because of the people. You know, I mean, the North East gets a lot of stick, especially in time where derbies, for being violent, for doing stupid things, punching horses, etc. And for pretty much just for the only time I can think of, everybody's come together and everybody's done something amazing. So it makes you just feel good to be a human, to be a person, to be a football fan in the North East, that everybody's come together. So thank you, and I'm certain everybody else will thank each other and say well done, because it's incredibly deserved. So I'll finish up here on what has been both a very dark, well, towards the end, a dark video, and also an incredibly uplifting one, because it's a horrible thing to happen, but the amount of good that's come out because of it is outstanding. It's been the Geordie Jedi. Leave a like if you can. I'd love it if every Sunderland fan could hear about this video, because they deserve so much credit, as do Middlesbrough, as do Newcastle fans as well. You know, everybody's been so nice to each other. So, you know, I'd love it if everybody could see this little bit of a thank you note, almost, not just for doing what they're doing, but uplifting my view of humanity, uplifting my view of the time where derby. I haven't been a football fan very long, so all I've heard is negative things about the time where divide, and well, this kind of thing happens, and it's just so pleasing to see. Subscribe if you want. I'll put a link in the description below for you. May the force be with you.